Sooners are coming together and finding their stroke from long range, heating up at home for the holidays. Now Oklahoma is seeking a little more production from the post and big man Andrew Fitzgerald. Jeff Capel's team rings out 20-10 tonight against Central Arkansas. Oklahoma will try to stay perfect at home tonight as they welcome Central Arkansas to the Lloyd Noble Center. The Bears looking for their first marquee win as they try to establish themselves as a Division I program. Hi, everyone. Along with former Sooner head coach Billy Tubbs, I'm Brian Brinkley, filling in for Bob Carpenter tonight. Glad you're with us for the final game of 2010 for both of these teams. And, Billy, the first game after Christmas break is always interesting.
Well, it really is, because now it's a short time to get ready for conference, and the Sooners have 2 more games to get ready for conference, so these are critical games to work out all the last kinks.
Let's take a look at some of the players to watch, sponsored by Cox Communications. We'll start with Central Arkansas, Imad Qahwash, a guard who started last year for Central Arkansas. This year, Corliss Wiliamson, the head coach, is having him come off the bench, and he's been a nice spark for them, averaging over 12 points a game. He shoots 40% beyond the arc this year. And for Oklahoma, the player that Sooner fans are keeping an eye on, Andrew Fitzgerald, has been a little bit up and down, and I know Jeff Capel was not real happy with the way he played in their last game against Sacramento State.
Well, this is the guy that really needs to come around. Remember, he's the leading scorer and leading rebounder. Look at him setting that nice screen right there, then sliding to the basket, and that's where he's really, really needed. He needs to get that inside game going so the Sooners can count on it. Now, he does have that good little mid-range jump shot that he can knock down, and he likes to shoot, and he is the best rebounder on the Sooner team.
Those are tonight's Player Watch, brought to you by Cox Communications, your home for Oklahoma sports. Back with keys to the game after this. You're watching Sooner basketball on the Sooner Sports Network. Brian Brinkley and Billy Tubbs back at the Lloyd Noble Center. Oklahoma and Central Arkansas about to close out 2010 tonight. Time for the keys to the game, brought to you by OERB. Both of these teams last played on December 21st, so they might be a little bit rusty, Billy.
Well, you know, it's really tough to recover from these layoffs, and the holidays is very stressful for the teams and the coaches. So tonight, that's going to face both teams a problem. But what Central Arkansas has to do is rebound, and they have to force turnovers. They've been a weak rebounding club to this point, been out rebounded, but they do a good job of forcing turnovers. That's been one of the keys, and they play like Nolan Richardson, 40 minutes a heck. All right, then with the Oklahoma Sooners, they need to keep the Bears' field goal percentage down, which means they need to play good defense and keep the Bears in the 30-something% range. Now, they also going to need to knock down some threes, because that's a real key if Cade Davis gets off the threes, and then also recover from a 9-day layoff. The team that recovers from that 9-day layoff will be at an advantage here.
Should be interesting to watch tonight. Those are the keys to the game, brought to you by OERB, Oklahoma's oil and natural gas producers. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. Time for the starting lineups, brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's Pledger, Blair, Clark, Davis, and Fitzgerald for the Sooners, as Jeff Capel's team tries to get above 500 on the season, 6-6 coming into tonight. And for Central Arkansas, Mike Pouncey, Imad Qahwash, Mark Rutledge, Chris Henson, and Carlos Dos Santos. For first-year head coach Corliss Wiliamson, we'll have more on him as we go along tonight. The starting lineups brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the preferred sporting goods retailer of Sooner sports. Central Arkansas wins the tip. They'll have the first possession here. It's man-to-man from the Sooners.
Sooners look like they're in their normal man-to-man defense, playing pretty much tight inside, trying to force that outside jumper. Arkansas is not a really, really great three-point shooting team.
Chris Henson with the miss there, and Central Arkansas picks up the foul on Mark Rutledge.
Central Arkansas in full court pressure defense, which doesn't surprise me at all, because I think Corliss will pick up a lot of stuff that he learned from Nolan Richardson. So they're going to get after you on defense. There's no question about that. Little full court pressure, then double teaming that ball.
And there's some of that pressure, and Carlos Dos Santos gets the steal, the bucket, and the foul. And he'll head to the line here for one. Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by Chickasaw Telecom.
I think you'll see a lot of different defenses from Central Arkansas, and that was typical Nolan Richardson defense right then. So I'm sure that Coach Wiliamson has picked up a lot of stuff from his former coach, and he's using it tonight. And as I said early, those turnovers are going to be a real key because Arkansas is going to really try to force them.
Carlos Dos Santos started his college career at South Plains College and then transferred to Northeastern Oklahoma A&M in Miami. Now in his second season with the Bears. They lead at 3-0 here. Just under a minute into this first half. Cameron Clark, who has played well and played a lot for Oklahoma in the last few games, double team, gets it off to Cade Davis.
What Central Arkansas is doing is I think they're going to double team all of those ball screens. And that's a little different concept. Not a lot of teams do that.
Fitzgerald with the miss on his first attempt. And Mike Pouncey to the rim. Can't get it to go, and Cade Davis the rebound.
They pushed the ball down the floor pretty nice that time, had a good shot. They're doing a lot of double teaming.
That leaves an open man, and it's Stephen Pledger for the easy deuce.
Wow, that's a nice job of handling the full court pressure and especially that double team.
Got to be aware of where you're picking the ball up, but there's also a chance somebody's open, and that time Pledger was.
Have you ever noticed that when you have two men on the ball, somebody's got to be open on offense?
I have noticed that, and that time Cade Davis, the senior that he is, noticed it as well. He pulls down another rebound, and Carl Blair will bring it out. Blair dishes Pledger open for three. He's got it.
And what a nice play. What a great penetration by Blair that time. Kicking out to Cade, who is really set up for that three. Nice job.
Pledger hitting over 39% from three-point range in his last 4 games. He's off to a good start here, has all 5 Sooner points, and OU leads it by 2.
OU's kind of coming off the ball, not putting a lot of pressure on the passing lanes.
This Henson a nice pass. Qahwash inside, and Pledger ties him up. The Oklahoma ball in the alternate possession as we look at Cade Davis's dish to Pledger.
Really, Cade really did a nice job of getting out of that double team. Really squared up and shot the ball. Good shot by Steve.
5-3 Sooners lead it. 17:33 to go here in the first half. Cade Davis into the forecourt for Oklahoma.
You know, Cade does a nice job of penetrating the basketball. A lot of people think of him as just a three-point shooter, but he can do a lot more than that.
Really a pretty good ball handler for his size. Lob underneath. The Sooners can't finish the alley-oop, but Fitzgerald the rebound and put back. That's what the Sooners need from Andrew Fitzgerald right there.
Bears pushing it down the floor pretty good.
Sooners on top 7-3 here. Mike Pouncey, number 5 for Central Arkansas, who's missed most of the last 2 years with a foot injury. Seems to be healthy this season.
I think they're trying to get their big gun open. Got it down under 10 now on the shot clock.
This defense from Oklahoma here on this possession. Dos Santos, 3 on the shot clock. And Claiborne bails out Central Arkansas and drains the 3.
Well, he knew he had to go up and shoot that. He shot it with a lot of confidence. Now Arkansas, Central Arkansas putting that double team on the press right now.
Claiborne shoots 39% from three-point range this year. As a team, Central Arkansas only at 33%.
Good rebound here by Fitz. Boy, I tell you what, he is so valuable getting stuff around that basket. That's what he needs to do, and the Sooners really need him today.
He's been just 3 for 8 from the field in each of the last 2 games, and Coach Capel not shy about talking about Fitzgerald not playing too well against Sacramento State. An offensive foul there on Cade Davis.
I didn't see that one. I missed that one.
There's the big nasty, Corliss Wiliamson, the former Arkansas star, in his first season as the head coach at UCA. And I tell you, Corliss looks like he could still play.
You know what? He was shooting before the game, and he was making some shots. I think he could still play. He's great shape. But boy, I tell you what, how many years did he have in the NBA?
12 in the NBA, 6th man of the year one season.
Boy, if you can do 10+ years in the NBA, it's really something.
Played with 4 different teams. That's over and back, and Central Arkansas turns it over.
You know, it almost looked to me like the Sooners deflected that ball across the court.
We'll go to our first media timeout. Sooners lead it by 1. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. We have a couple of coaches tonight who have met before. This is the 1994 NCAA championship game between Arkansas and Duke in Charlotte, North Carolina, and some names from the past. How about Chris Collins? And that's Corliss Wiliamson with the putback at number 5 in blue. That is one Jeff Capel committing the foul on Corliss Wiliamson.
Jeff looks a little thinner there, and I'm sure he felt like he didn't commit that foul, but the referee called it anyway.
And Nolan Richardson celebrating a national championship back in 1994. And that man, Corliss Wiliamson, was the most outstanding player of that Final Four. Two-time All-American, two-time SEC Player of the Year at Arkansas, and 12 seasons in the NBA with the Kings, Raptors, Pistons, and 76ers. Now into the coaching profession in his first year at Central Arkansas after being the head coach at Arkansas Baptist College last year. He'd been the assistant there the previous 2 seasons, but moving up the coaching ladder quickly.
Well, that's one of those rarities when you win the national championship as a college player and as a pro player.
Right, not a lot of guys can say that, and that was a very good Arkansas team. Went back to the Final Four the next year.
Got a charge.
Foul, Sooners turn it over. Yeah,
a little dribble penetration that time, and the Bears did a nice job of setting up and taking that charge.
Stephen Pledger picks up his second foul, and Nick Thompson will come in for Pledger. Thompson, the transfer from College of Eastern Utah.
Looks like we've got the Sooners now with a little full court pressure. Double teaming that ball. That was a nice double team. I really like Clark out on the point of that press. He's so long, got those nice long arms. Look at that double team. Really, Blair did a nice job of shutting down the sideline that time.
Qahwash into the forecourt here for the purple-clad Bears. Have really played just about every team they've played this season close, except for a couple. They lost big at Missouri and big at Missouri State. But other than that, they've been in most of the games they've played this season. Dos Santos working baseline, but he travels.
I think he did. Well, you know, really, when you're a team coming in like the Bears are, and some of these lower D1 teams and playing these guaranteed games, if you can stay within 10 to 15 points of the team that you're playing, you've really done a good job that night. And then if you can get a win, you've really done something.
Yeah, they're only 4-8 on the year, but they're only being outscored by ½ a point per game. So they've been in most of the games this year. Blair dishes off, and he commits an offensive foul. Sooners with their 4th turnover and their 4th foul.
Well, 3 of those turnovers have been charges, been offensive fouls.
Pledger on the bench with 2, and Carl Blair and Kay Davis have the other 2 fouls. Calvin Newell has checked in for Oklahoma. Newell coming off a career-high 17 points and 5 3-pointers in that game against Sacramento State back on December 21st. You can really tell his confidence is growing here as we edge towards January.
Central Arkansas setting a lot of nice ball screens.
Kay Davis another rebound off the Claiborne miss.
Cade's almost playing point tonight. He has the ball more than anybody else. He's on the point. Got Newell in at this particular point to Blair and as the point guard.
Fitzgerald a little turnaround, and he's fouled.
You know, I like the way he shot that. He had that little hesitation at the peak of his jump. I like that play.
Terry Tidwell picks up the foul. 6'8" sophomore out of Conway, Arkansas. Transfer from Arkansas Pine Bluff. And Fitzgerald, who's been very good at the free throw line in recent games, 81% in his last 6 outings. And of course, Jensen. Sorry, Andrew.
Andrew looks good tonight. For some reason, I feel like he might have a really, really good game tonight. I think that the Sooners can go inside to him, and he can power some stuff around the basket.
Leading scorer and rebounder on the season. He misses them both. Oklahoma State lead still 1 here, 6 minutes into the first half.
Really physical inside. Fitzgerald really bumping up to him.
Tidwell working inside. The turnaround over Fitzgerald is good.
I'm going to tell you now, that was a well-earned basket that time. He made really, really a nice play on that.
Bears back on top by 1. Newell into the forecourt finds Fitzgerald.
Arkansas still keeping pretty good pressure. Dropped off the ball a little bit, not pressuring the ball as much, but still pressuring those passing lanes.
Sooners haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. From the corner, Cameron Clark ends that drought.
And the Sooners did not press off of that three, but wow.
Mike Pouncey inside scores.
Bears really got the ball down the floor fast that time, and Blair really stayed with it that time. Really made a good play.
They are pressuring the Sooners all over the floor, but Oklahoma with some numbers here. Nick Thompson drains it.
It's a good thing Nick hit that one because he had, I think it was Fitzgerald open on that backside.
Sooners back on top by 2. And Central Arkansas turns the ball over again. Take a look at Nick Thompson. Can't find anybody. Shoots it himself and knocks it down.
I like that play right there. That doesn't take long.
Thompson hasn't played much since missing the Gardner-Webb game due to a death in the family. It's been kind of a struggle for him to get back in the groove since then. Maybe the Christmas break will help him. Last 3 by Cameron Clark, just his 7th made 3-pointer of the season. He has struggled beyond the arc this year, just 27% coming in.
Cade was looking for the jumper that time.
Clark trying to heat up but misses, and Fitzgerald can't pull down the rebound. Pouncey will bring it up for the Bears.
Close to a backcourt violation on that particular pass.
Chris Henson for 3.
You know what? You could almost see that he was going to make that before he let the ball go because he was really set up to catch that and release his shot. Good hard double team right there.
They're not a great 3-point shooting team, but they have 6 different players who have double-digit made threes this year. So there's potential there all over the court as Oklahoma turns it over for the 5th time. We go to a break with Central Arkansas leading the Sooners 13-12. You're watching Sooner basketball on the Sooner Sports Network. Themselves trailing by 1 here, 13-12 to Central Arkansas.
Well, it's a pretty even game so far in all statistical categories. Central Arkansas really shooting the ball well, 5 for 10, 2 for 4 from 3-point range. Been a pretty well played game to this particular point in time, but I'm impressed with Central Arkansas at this point. They are really challenging the Sooners. I like the game because both teams seem to be pressing a lot.
I thought you would. Central Arkansas has been playing basketball almost 100 years, but this is their first year where they're eligible for postseason play in NCAA Division I. They had to go through a 4-year transitional period, transferring from a lower NCAA division to Division I, and they're finally eligible to compete in the postseason. Qahwash misses, and the save off of Andrew Fitzgerald's leg out of bounds.
You know, I'm a little familiar with Central Arkansas because they're in the same league as my Lamar Cardinals are. In fact, the Lamar Cardinals opened the conference play against the Central Arkansas Bears on January the 8th. So a little familiar with watching them in their transition from D2 to D1.
Mark Rutledge gets the nice bounce, and another 3 for the Bears. That's their 3rd already, and they take a 4-point lead, 16-12.
As like us experts say, they're not a good 3-point shooting team. They've already made 3.
It's amazing how that can affect them.
I tell you what,
knock a few of those down.
The presses that they're doing, the defense that Central Arkansas is playing is a tough defense. They kind of pushed a little bit of full court pressure and then come back. Wow!
Cade Davis steps up and gives the Sooners a much-needed bucket.
And the Sooners are in a little 3-quarter court 2-2-1 press right now.
Sometimes that's the best answer for a team that presses you, to press them right back.
You know what? That's a very good point, Brian. That is so true. Nice play right there by
Tidwell misses, but Thompson with a nice rebound, and he's fouled.
You can make good moves, you just got to finish. In any sport, it's all about finishing. Whether it's a play, whether it's a putt.
Foul on Mark Rutledge, his 2nd. Tidwell heads to the bench. T.K. Smith checks in for Central Arkansas. Junior out of Amherst, Mass, who had not scored his first 2 years at Central Arkansas, but he has poured in 70 so far this year.
And the Bears changed their full court defense, made it a 3-quarter court 1-3-1 press. really kind of in the same man-to-man defense.
Thompson dishes off to Fitzgerald. He can't handle it, and Oklahoma turns the ball over for the 6th time already.
That's twice that Fitzgerald's had trouble coming up with the pass when it would be a potential lay-in.
Now Fitzgerald leads Oklahoma in scoring and rebounding, and also leads in turnovers. And Oklahoma will get the ball right back as Dos Santos can't handle the pass.
And Central Arkansas has a little trouble with the press themselves. Three-quarter court, 1-1, 2-1. Did I leave out a player?
Oklahoma's shooting the ball well when they get a possession where they get a shot off. 6 of 8.
1-1, 2-1. That does add up to 5. Okay, I'm okay.
And Nick Thompson is open off a nice assist from Malvin Newell.
What a play by Newell. Oh, good hustle.
Fitzgerald, a nice hustle.
Good hustle. I like to see the Sooners pressing like that. Coach got a little bump over there on the sideline that time.
This flashes you back to the 80s, doesn't it?
Yes.
Tied at 16 here. You see the Nick Thompson basket. Qahwash dishes to Dos Santos, who scores. Dos Santos with 5. The Bears back on top by 2.
What I see in the Bears is the Bears play a lot of defenses that you don't see all the time, and it's really, really difficult to get ready for them.
And DeJuan Claiborne ties up Newell, and the alternate possession will give it to Central Arkansas.
I'm going to project that Corliss, Coach Wiliamson, is going to do a great job at Central Arkansas.
Well, you have instant respect there. You just show off your 12-year NBA resume.
And he also shows off what he learned from Coach Nolan Richardson.
That's
because
right.
I'm seeing a lot of the defenses that I played against a couple of times and playing against Nolan.
T.K. Smith for 3.
For the team that can't shoot the 3 very well, they're knocking him down. They pushed this out to a 5-point lead.
4 threes already for Central Arkansas, and they lead it by 5 as Claiborne is called for the foul. 4th team foul, Claiborne's first.
You know, the team that presses is the team that is the aggressor in the game. And the aggressor, I like to be the aggressor in the game as opposed to the laid-back team. But both teams are pressing right now.
That's definitely the way Wiliamson played when he was under Nolan Richardson at Arkansas, and establishing that here at Central Arkansas in his first season. Nick Thompson dishes off. Cameron Clark's the little mid-range jumper is good.
What a nice play by Cameron that time. A little 2-dribble pull-up jumper, and that's a critical shot that a player really needs to have that in his arsenal to be a really good player. Cameron's come a long way since the first game this year.
Definitely a learning experience. You get to Division I basketball, no matter how good you were as a high school player. And Qahwash can't get the pass. 6 turnovers on Central Arkansas.
I really like this defense that the Sooners are playing right now. They're kind of in a 1-3-1 matchup zone, and they are. I think they're really, really good in that because they do a good job in their rotations and their checkoffs.
Carl Blair back into the game for Oklahoma for Newell. Fitzgerald working on Dos Santos. Men's baseline, tried to dish it off there to Clark. Fitzgerald gets it back and scores.
Nice play. Threes are nice, but you win games right there with those inside plays.
And Fitzgerald makes a defensive play. Sooners have the numbers the other way.
Oh,
Fitzgerald.
nice play. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what the crowd likes to see. What a great play.
And Oklahoma back on top, 22-21.
Got the crowd involved with that a little bit. Cameron Clark has a great future at this game.
7 turnovers apiece now, and Oklahoma turned that one into a dunk on the other end. Chris Henson, the turnaround in the lane is good. We've seen a team start the game 10 for 12, and they're trailing. That's Oklahoma's position right now. They've hit 10 of 12 shots, but they're losing by 1.
Well, that happens when you turn the ball over more than the other team.
7 turnovers apiece at the moment. Carl Blair off to Clark.
Keep in mind that some of the Sooners turnovers. Yes.
Cade Davis, nothing but the bottom of the net. Cade rings the bell for the first time. Oklahoma's second 3.
Keep in mind there's turnovers you can run off of, which means a forced error that's a pass interception and steal. You can't run off of a turnover that is caused by a charge.
Sooners on top by 2. Dos Santos kicks out to Claiborne for 3, and finally they miss. And Cade Davis pulls down another rebound. It's his 4th. If Capel wants to slow it down here. Thompson can handle the ball pretty well for a man his size. Gets it off to Blair.
He really does that job creating stuff.
Nice dish to Fitzgerald, who finishes.
He really did a nice job. That was a great assist. And Arkansas, Central Arkansas with the turnover.
Oklahoma goes to break with a 4-point lead. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. Sooners on top 27-23 behind an 11-3 run over the last 2 minutes 47 seconds.
You know, it's really interesting. The Sooners at this particular point in time are 12 for 14 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3 points, and shooting 85%. Really a nice run here in the last couple of minutes of this game.
UCA outscoring Oklahoma off turnovers, though, 9-8. That's why this is only a 4-point Sooner lead.
Got a few changes in there. Got Barry
Honore
in there.
Up to Honore, tried to kick it back out, and Blair makes a nice catch. Honore for the jumper, and it's short.
Honore's got to score on that pass around that basket, especially. That's his job.
Pouncey back in the game for Central Arkansas. Rutledge downloaded Tidwell, and that's goaltending on Honore.
The Bears do a nice job of attacking inside.
Nice block by Honore, but you can't do that there.
Definitely ball on the way down. Bears still in that full court pressure defense, going to trap you up at half court.
Nice catch by Clark, and C.J. Washington to the rim.
What a nice play by C.J., but what a great pass in there. Is that Blair making that pass?
C.J. Washington off the Sooner bench, and Blair with the assist. Sooner lead back to 4.
Sooners still in their matchup.
Dos Santos, pass inside. Tidwell can't handle it. Cade Davis in traffic finally comes away with a loose ball, and he's fouled.
Cade Davis really plays hard. He's a guy that's giving you 100% every minute. Really good coming up with that ball right then. Right there, you need to secure it.
Sooners by 4. 13 of 16 from the field.
Cameron Clark's been having a good night tonight.
Clark's open here. 4-3. Good.
And he's having even a better night right now.
Cameron Clark into double figures.
Oh, I like Cameron on the front of this 1-3-1 defense right here. Go ahead and trap him.
Sooners with their largest lead of 7 here. Qahwash tries to answer and does.
I still like that defense, even though they scored. That's a shot you're going to give up in that particular defense.
They've hit 5 3-pointers from 5 different players. Backing up that stat I had earlier, about 6 different players in double figures. Yeah. Oh, what a pass from Carl Blair.
I think Blair brings true point guard to the table.
Well, and how much does the experience he has at New Orleans last year in a D1 program help out? Oklahoma had to have that kind of an experience.
And, you know, it's been amazing to watch the improvement he's made thus far in the season.
Take a timeout. Sooners lead it by 6. You're watching Sooner basketball on the Sooner Sports Network. Coach Capel and the Sooners return to the Lloyd Noble Center on Monday, January 3rd at 7 p.m. versus Maryland Eastern Shore. For tickets, call 800-456-GO-OU or visit Soonersports.com. That will conclude non-conference play for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma still shooting 83%. The rebounds are really even, 6 and 6. That's amazing that we have 4 minutes to go in the half and there's only been 12 rebounds in this game. That's because there hadn't been many shots missed. Arkansas shooting, well, Central Arkansas shooting 57%, Sooners shooting 80%, and my goodness, combined 9 out of 13 from the floor from three-point range.
OU on an 18-8 run after Central Arkansas had taken their largest lead. Cameron Clark nearly gets a steal there.
You know, the defense that the Sooners are in right now is the defense that they've come from behind. They were 5 down when they went to this particular defense.
You're right, Clark up on top of that.
This is a hard defense to play against.
Mark Rutledge dishes off and a steal. Andrew Fitzgerald knocked it away.
Andrew's been pretty active in there tonight. That was a nice, see, he got the deflect and Newell got the steal on that play.
Fitzgerald so much more this year after losing all that weight in the offseason. Nice dribbling there by Kate.
Kate's putting on a little exhibition there. Okay, Fitz, take it up and score.
Inside out here. Fitzgerald, tough shot, and it goes. 8 for Fitzgerald.
I'm not sure that's the shot you shoot in practice.
And again,
but you know what? You take it.
Fitzgerald has 8. Sooners lead by 8. Oklahoma 16 for 19 from the field. Tidwell's open inside, and he misses the dunk.
Well, Tidwell's missed a couple of shots in there. He should have gotten down. That was a nice play by the Bears. One thing that the Bears have taken the Sooners out of the ball screen, because this is what happens. So they just set a ball screen and it's double teamed.
Cameron Clark spots for 3. Pulls it in. That's his 3rd.
Ooh. You know what? That's the part of the game that you wonder about. Is he going to be able to shoot the 3 in the mid-range jumper? And he's scored on each one of those plays tonight.
15 for Cameron Clark. He's only 2 away from his career high. He had 17 against Earl Roberts. That's 15 already. And we're just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half as the Sooners lead by 11, their biggest lead.
All right, Fitz coming in, taking it to the basket and powering it up, and that could have been a and-one play. Good penetration by Newell. Nice shot by Clark.
That foul on Fitzgerald, his first, the 6th team foul against Oklahoma. Sooners by double digits.
Is it
close to an over and back there on DeJuan Claiborne. Pouncey leaves it for Claiborne for 3.
Ah, I can't believe it. That's
his second 3. It's the first player that's hit more than 1 3 for Central Arkansas, and it's keeping them in it. They're down 8. 6 for 10 beyond the arc tonight. Oklahoma is 5 for 5 from three-point range and 17 of 20 now from the field. Cade Davis misses, but C.J. Washington the rebound, and he's fouled. Nice job by C.J. Washington off the Sooner bench with 4 points. He'll try to make it 5 off the Cade Davis miss. Corliss Wiliamson wants a 30-second timeout here as Oklahoma's lead back to double digits at 41-31. Kind of see why his nickname was the Big Nasty. I don't think you want to get on Corliss Williamson's bad side. Of course, the most famous Central Arkansas player, Scottie Pippen, 17 seasons in the NBA, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 7-time NBA All-Star, voted one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. The amazing part about Scottie Pippen's story is he was considered an average basketball player in high school, was invited to become a manager, not a player, at the University of Central Arkansas, walked on to be a manager, impressed the coaches, got to be a player, got a scholarship, became a 2-time NAIA All-American, and the rest is history. Goes on to become one of the greatest players in NBA history and wins 6 NBA titles. Billy Tubbs now on the mic here. We'll get Coach Capel here as he walks off the court here at halftime. Nice play by C.J. Washington, though, Billy, to get the rebound and put back there. Nice hustle by him.
And Fitz comes out, and he's really had a good half right now. Good trap down there by the Sooners. Sooners are getting after it full court and then coming back into good, tough half-court defense.
11-point Oklahoma lead. The defense a little too close that time, and Calvin Newell picks up the foul.
I tell you, I'm sure coaches find some flaws in his defense and not liking it, but I kind of like their defense tonight. They're doing a good job, and it appears to me that they're playing real hard, meaning the Sooners. But both teams are playing hard right now, and certainly the Bears taking it to the Sooners.
Fitzgerald back in the game for Honore. Foul on Newell was his first. And Claiborne at the line for the 1-and-1 gets the first. Central Arkansas only shoots 69% at the line. Jeff Capel's team sizzling the nets tonight. 18 for 22 for 82%. Washington the rebound, and Oklahoma can add to a 10-point lead as we hit the 1-minute mark first half. Newell into the forecourt. Clark spots for another three. That one's short. And Oklahoma knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Central Arkansas basketball as Honore will come back in for Fitzgerald. Situational substitution for Jeff Capel.
Look like Sooners are going to get after him full court again. Got a good trap on the ball, but they don't really have anybody rotating up to cut off that pass back to the middle.
Pouncey loses the ball right into the hands of Calvin Newell. And Claiborne takes it away from Newell. Nice steal by Claiborne, and Oklahoma can't convert on the turnover.
I tell you, both teams are really, really playing hard on defense. This is a pretty exciting game right now. One that people like to watch.
Got a 3-second differential here between the shot and game clock. Pouncey, the jumper is good. Jeff Capel wants a timeout here. This will be a 30 with 17 seconds left, and Oklahoma leading by 8.
This is one of those timeouts that you have to take. You either take it or you lose it.
Sooners with a nice shooting night. 18 for 23 for 78%. They've made 5 of 7 3-pointers. But they've turned the ball over 8 times. Central Arkansas shooting pretty well as well. 59% from the field. They've hit 6 of 10 from 3-point range.
Well, you know, the shooting's been pretty good tonight by both teams, but what I'm impressed with is the way that both teams are really getting after it defensively and really playing hard defensively.
Yeah, Billy, there's only been 16 rebounds total in this game. 9 for OU, 7 for Central Arkansas.
There's not many shots missed. If you're not missing shots, there's not many rebounds.
I don't know that I've ever seen a half where there's only been 16
rebounds. That's just a mathematical thing.
Yeah. Sooners will have 17 seconds here to try to regain a double-digit lead. You see the 3-point shooting pretty impressive on both sides.
Well, this is the time you want to make sure you're taking the last shot and you do not give the other team a chance to respond.
Go to Fitzgerald, block C.J. Washington, another rebound, another putback, and another foul.
I think C.J.'s showing off tonight because his coach at Connors, Bill Muse, is in the stands watching him, so I think he wants to show his former coach what he's missing this year.
Washington already with a new career high. He has 7 points. His previous best was 5 in OU's last game against Sacramento State. TJ Franklin will come in and replace Blair as Washington tries to finish off another 3-point play.
And, you know, still, they have enough time for the Bears to get this down the floor and get a reasonable shot.
10-point game here. They'll have to hurry. Rutledge makes it, and it counts.
I call that a reasonable shot.
They will look at the monitor just to check it, but the officials say that will count. So that's a little boost for Central Arkansas going into break. And what else should we end with on a night when both teams are shooting very nicely? Let's go to Billy Tubbs with Jeff Capel.
Coach, this has been a pretty exciting game. I'm impressed with the intensity level that both teams are playing with on defense. Now, I know that coaches are never happy with that, but this has been a hard-fought game by both teams.
Well, Central Arkansas plays really hard. They play a frenetic style, and knocked us back early. We got some momentum there going, had a chance to extend the lead a few times, didn't make smart plays defensively, fouling, and then had a chance to attack the basket offensively and went a little bit slow. But, we were able to have a 7-point lead going in the half. This is the second time someone's hit a half-court shot on us going in the half. We have to get off to a much better start this half than we did to start the game.
Well, don't you think maybe that we took that shot a little too quick down there?
We did. That's something that we've had problems with. We wanted to get it where it's the absolute last shot. We took it a little bit quick. CJ made a great play and got an offensive rebound. And because we missed, we didn't have a chance to set up our defense. But still, kid hits a half-court shot. It's a heck of a shot by him.
Good luck, coach, and go get him at halftime.
Oklahoma goes to halftime, leading by 7, 44-37. You're watching Sooner basketball on the Sooner Sports Network. Halftime at the Lloyd Noble Center, and Riverwind Hotel brings you this look at the Big 12. Kansas remains unbeaten at 12-0, and there are several Big 12 teams in this top half which have winning streaks. Of course, 12 in a row for the Jayhawks. Missouri has won 7 straight, as has Oklahoma State, and Texas A&M has won 8 in a row.
Well, what I look at right now, I think the top 2 teams there, Kansas and Missouri, I think they're the best 2 teams in the league right now, and the surprise teams in the league as far as I'm concerned. Texas A&M and Oklahoma State have really had a pre-conference schedule that has had a lot of success.
And as far as the bottom half of the division, there are 5 teams in the Big 12 ranked in the AP poll, 6 in the coaches poll, and 2 of the teams that are ranked are in this bottom half, Baylor and Kansas State. Baylor with a tough trip to Hawaii, lost 2 in a row. And Kansas State, of course, dealing with the suspension of 2 of their players, Curtis Kelly, who will serve 4 more games out, and Jacob Pullen has 1 more on those impermissible benefits.
Well, here you have Kansas State, which was a preseason pick for the Big 12 Conference Championship, and they're 9th in the league right now. They've struggled with the suspension of some of their players, and Baylor has struggled on the floor and really not having a good game right now.
That's the Big 12 report, brought to you by Riverwind Hotel. It's what a Sooner victory feels like. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. Brian Brinkley and Billy Tubbs back at the Lloyd Noble Center. Halftime between Oklahoma and Central Arkansas. Make a difference in the life of an OU student athlete. For $100, you can become a Sooner Club member and join the team behind the team. Visit www.thesoonerclub.com and join today. Time to take a look at the upcoming Sooner events, brought to you by Fowler Toyota. Of course, the Fiesta Bowl on Saturday in Glendale, Arizona. Oklahoma taking on Big East champion Connecticut. Sooners in their 3rd Fiesta Bowl in the last 5 years. The Oklahoma women travel to TCU on Sunday. Whitney Hand will make her season debut. First time she's played in 13 months after that knee surgery, and then a second knee surgery after that. Oklahoma's men will close out non-conference play on Monday at home against Maryland Eastern Shore. And then on January 7th, women's gymnastics and wrestling, Beauty and the Beast. The gymnastics team will take on Arkansas. The wrestling team will face Navy. The Oklahoma track team in action that day at Arkansas. And the Oklahoma women open Big 12 play on January 8th, visiting defending Big 12 champion Nebraska. And, of course, the Sooners will take on the Huskies in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl January 1st, New Year's night in Glendale, Arizona. Still time to get some tickets and head out to the Valley of the Sun. Call 1-800-456-GO-OU or visit Soonersports.com for more information. We'll take a break. You're watching Sooner basketball on the Sooner Sports Network. Back at the Lloyd Noble Center, Brian Brinkley along with Billy Tubbs. Sooners leading 44-37 over the Central Arkansas Bears. And Billy, this does not look like a game between 2 teams who haven't played in 9 days.
Well, I tell you, both teams have recovered quickly from the long layoff, and I'm impressed with the job that both teams are doing defensively. And what we're seeing out there are defenses that are really, really tough for any team to play against, and it takes a tremendous amount of hustle to play those defenses.
Take a look at the halftime stats brought to you by Oklahoma Farm Bureau. You can see the shooting very good for both teams.
Amazing is what it is. I mean, 61%. When you shoot that in the first half, you should be ahead, and they're behind because as soon as you're shooting 76%.
Central Arkansas has their 7 threes from 5 different players. Oklahoma shooting 76%, and there have been a grand total of 18 rebounds in this game, 10 by Oklahoma and 8 for Central Arkansas.
Well, you know, Arkansas has had a really balanced scoring attack. The Sooners are balanced, although Cameron Clark really having a good first half with 15 points in there, and the shooting has been unbelievable.
And a nice little bench spurt from C.J. Washington off the bench as well.
Yes, and as I said earlier, he's trying to impress his coach, Bill Muse, who's in here to watch him play.
Those are tonight's halftime stats brought to you by Oklahoma Farm Bureau, feeding and clothing the world one farmer at a time. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. Back in Norman, Sooners leading the Bears 44-37 as we get set for the second half, and it's time for our Pizza Hut delivery of the game. On the break here, Andrew Fitzgerald to Cameron Clark.
What a nice pass by Fitz that time. Good vision, great play by Clark.
Cameron Clark pacing the Sooners with 15 points. That's the Pizza Hut delivery of the game. Your favorites, your Pizza Hut. Cameron Clark just 2 off his career high. C.J. Washington off the bench with 7 for Oklahoma. And nice balance for Central Arkansas, led by DeJuan Claiborne, 7.
Well, really, they have every player that's been in the game for Central Arkansas has scored, and the minimum's 3 and the maximum 7, so not much in between.
It's really a trend for them all season long. They have 6 different players averaging over 7 points a game, but nobody more than 12.3 per game. Look at Big 12 scores presented by your Central Oklahoma Buick GMC dealers. We have a low-scoring game there between Iowa State and Virginia.
Wow, that's
not a football score.
Surely they need to put in a 10-second shot clock in that game.
Mike Anderson's Missouri Tigers leading Old Dominion 37-29 as we get started here in the second half, and Oklahoma will have the first possession. Original starting lineup on the floor for Oklahoma, and Central Arkansas with a quick foul. Dos Santos picks this one up.
Same defense by the Bears, playing good half-court man-to-man defense, trying to trap on ball screens.
The score updates brought to you by your Central Oklahoma Buick GMC dealers. And Dos Santos picks up another one. It's his 3rd. He'll head to the Bear bench as Terry Tidwell checks in.
Santos has 0 rebounds and 5 total points, and now he's becoming an expert on fouling.
Carl Blair did not score in the first half for Oklahoma. Oklahoma got plenty of production from the guys they needed to score. Led by Clark. Fitzgerald posting up inside. He has 4 Bears around him. Dishes off to Clark, who gets hammered.
It was really nice pass by Fitzgerald, and he's made a couple of nice passes tonight. They are going inside. He needs to be able to score inside.
Cameron Clark for 2, and he can match his career high if he can make both the free throws here. Not good at the line this year, though, 8 of 15, but he rattles that one home.
It's amazing how when you say they're really good, they'll miss, and if they say they're not good, they make it.
Needed to say that all game. That OU's horrible.
Hey, it's 2 for 2. Good for Cameron.
Matches his career high.
Good full court press. Going to trap out of it. Still not playing that pass back to the middle. You got to have somebody rotate up and play that pass back to the middle.
We talked about Imad Qahwash in the open, coming off the bench for Corliss Wiliamson. He has done that in all but 1 game this year until tonight. This was just his 2nd start.
Tell you, Central Arkansas is posting up pretty tight in there. That was really, really nice play by their leading scorer.
And Qahwash drives and scores. He's got 5. Sooners by 7. Picking up the ball just beyond midcourt, which is not a good place to pick it up as a general rule.
Not really, and you know, the thing that's kind of interesting is
Claiborne with the steal on Blair. Can't get it to go off the glass, and Blair the rebound. Claiborne pokes it out of bounds and commits a foul in the process.
The defense that Central Arkansas is playing requires a tremendous amount of hustle, and I guess that's why when you're watching these games, you know, you get a lot of respect for people that are out there fighting that hard.
Now you have to certainly be in condition if you're going to play this brand of basketball. You know all about that. And Corliss Wiliamson does as well. He had to do that for Nolan Richardson for 3 years. Jumper from Fitzgerald won't go, and Cameron Clark can't get the rebound.
Fitz likes that little 15-foot jumper. And he's usually pretty good, and he's pretty accurate with that shot.
Clark in Qahwash's face. Qahwash for 3. Won't go, and K. Davis pulls down another board.
I think he rushed that 3 a little bit. Game's kind of slowed down a little bit.
Fitzgerald with nice hustle to keep that ball alive, and will get it out to Blair, and the Sooners will reset. Great hustle by Andrew Fitzgerald.
Andrew's showing a lot of hustle tonight. He's showing some determination.
K. Davis with that rebound. That was his 5th. He has 5 of OU's 12 rebounds in this game. Clark open for the jumper. The heel no good. Pouncey comes away.
Really a pretty good play, though. Shot didn't go down. It's only a good play if the shot goes down.
Qahwash goes right at Fitzgerald, scores, and draws the foul.
Second foul on Fitzgerald.
It is his second, Oklahoma's first of the half, and Qahwash sparking Central Arkansas here early in the second half, has all 4 of their points in the period.
Well, game slowed down just a tad bit here in the second half.
Qahwash, an 82% free throw shooter, 6th best in the Southland Conference. Apparently jinxed him as well.
It was a 0% on that particular shot.
Sooners by 5. A double-digit lead on a couple of occasions late in the first half.
Fitzgerald's really posting up tight, but they're double-teaming him every time he gets the ball.
Earl Blair will try to drive. The runner airballed, but Fitzgerald the rebound. Goes up underneath, and he airballs it as well. And a steal by Pledger. Sooners will come back on a 2-on-2, but Claiborne commits another foul. He's got 3. That's already the 5th team foul on the Bears in this half.
Really good steal right there by Pledger.
I'm not sure if Claiborne even saw Stephen Pledger when he released that pass. T.K. Smith will come in for Claiborne, who leaves with 3 fouls. Claiborne and Dos Santos with 3 apiece for Central Arkansas.
Okay, Sooners getting set with their double high post. Putting 2 guys at the elbows. Up screen by Blair that time.
Clark to Davis. Cade tried to kick it off to Fitzgerald, and it's knocked away and stolen by Rutledge. Oklahoma with their 10th turnover. Most of those turnovers early in the game. Tidwell working on Fitzgerald, no good with the left hand, and Pledger the rebound.
Well, as good as the shooting was in the first half, it's dropped off considerably here in the second half, but both teams are playing a little different defensively in the second half. The Sooners in their man-to-man and not their matchup zone.
Stephen Pledger misses. OU has missed all 5 field goal attempts in this half after hitting 18 of 22 in the first half. As the law of averages was bound to catch up to him at some point.
Well, I think one thing that's happened, the game has really slowed down a little bit. Neither team's scoring, so there's not any pressing, and the game's going slower.
Timeout. Sooners lead at 46-41. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. Dating back to the first half, Oklahoma in the last almost 5.5 minutes has made just 1 basket, and they're 0 for 5 from the field here in the second half. Still holding on to a 5-point lead, but Central Arkansas with the ball. Qahwash, a nice spin inside, and he scores.
What a play. What a play. Now, Arkansas is in that press.
Oklahoma's lead down to 3 here.
Speed the game up a little bit.
Earl Blair now will slow it down for Oklahoma.
The Bears in a real good, tough, strong man-to-man defense.
Fitzgerald working inside the spin, but he traveled.
Yeah, he traveled, and I'll tell you, it's physical inside. There's a little banging going on in there by both players. Really strong, and Fitzgerald's really getting after it, but defensively, the Bears are getting after it.
And they're not going to go away.
Okay, now we're seeing, let's see what happens right here, because the Sooners are now in their matchup. They're in their 1-3-1 zone, and this is what they had some success with.
Henson no good. He got his own rebound, but a whistle and a foul, and Corliss Wiliamson was going to make sure the officials knew about it. This is on Fitzgerald.
I tell you, Corliss is pretty serious over there on the sideline. He could intimidate you a little bit.
UCA now on a 12-4 run. C.J. Washington will replace Fitzgerald, who leaves with 3 fouls.
Let's see if Washington can keep up the pace that he had late in that half.
Qahwash will drive to the basket hard again. Won't get the roll, but he did get the foul.
I think he's decided that he needs to be a factor in this game. He is their leading scorer. He is taking it to the basket hard right now. I didn't see that in the first half. I didn't see him that aggressive offensively in the first half, and he's really come out strong in the second half.
That's the 3rd foul on Carl Blair. Oklahoma's 3rd team foul, and Qahwash to the line for 2 more. You're right, he's been a totally different player. He scored every point for Central Arkansas in this half. 7 of them. He's into double digits now with 10. C.J. Washington pulls down the board. Sooner lead down to 2. Oklahoma still yet to make a field goal in the second half.
So that's kind of interesting that the Bears picked up the ball off of a missed shot full court.
Cameron Clark kicks it to Pledger for 3, and that's bottom of the net for Stephen Pledger.
Sooners needed that badly. I think they really wanted to press and couldn't get in it quick enough, and Central Arkansas just beat the Sooners down the floor.
Notice a lot of your teams used to do that, Billy. Just like that, the ball is down the floor, and you got to be ready.
You got to beat that defense down the floor. He really squared up, looked good on that shot.
C.J. Washington picks up the foul after the Pledger 3. And Chris Henson to the line.
Got it back out to a 5-point lead. The game was getting a little close in there. It still is. But they have a little breathing. The Sooners have a little breathing room right now.
Henson, a 70% free throw shooter, makes the second. He has 6. Oklahoma by 4. That one will be on Mike Pouncey. That's his first.
The Bears really hit that trap quick. They do a good job of getting over there and setting the trap, and they're strong in that trap.
It's already the 6th team foul on UCA here in this half. So the next one puts Jeff Capel's team into the bonus.
Good ball movement
the
by
press
the
to
Sooners.
Pledger. Alley-oop. Cameron Clark is there to finish.
Oh, what a play. Great pass by Pledger. But that was a beautiful job of breaking the full court defense that time.
New career high for Cameron Clark, 19 points. Sooner lead back to 6. Mark Rutledge on the wing. Finds Henson. Over Davis, it won't go, and Clark the rebound. With Cameron Clark, an athletic freshman. Blair penetrates, scoops it off to Washington. That won't go. And Henson the rebound.
It's good play. Just no finish to it.
Mark Rutledge the jumper. That one goes.
Looked like he knew what he was doing that time, didn't he?
Mark Rutledge with his first points of the second half, and the first field goal for UCA other than Qahwash in this half. Oklahoma by 4.
Sooners do a nice. Oh, there it is again.
Cameron Clark again finishes it off with a little finger roll.
Nice pass by Blair that time.
Cameron Clark matches his jersey number with 21. T.K. Smith tries to answer and can't. Washington the board.
Washington's really having a coming out party tonight.
Cade Davis drives, leans in, and fouls. Cade doesn't like it. It's going to be his second.
All right, this is a good press breaker right here. Oh, man. What a great play.
Cameron, remind you of anyone that played for you?
It kind of reminds me of Skeeter Henry a little bit.
I was thinking the same thing. I wasn't really looking necessarily for a specific answer, but
well, that was just a guess.
A little bit of Skeeter. Skeeter got the crowd pretty pumped up a few times.
He would, and Skeeter could hit three. Skeeter was a great athlete, could run the floor. He wasn't as long as Cameron Clark is.
Sooners by 6. Shooting 65% from the field in this game, and Central Arkansas at 55%. That's going to be a foul against Oklahoma, and once again, Cade Davis doesn't like this call, and it's his 3rd foul. That's Oklahoma's 6th team foul, so the next foul for either team puts their opponent in the bonus.
This kind of game with this kind of defense that both teams are playing, you're going to see a few fouls, and both teams are attacking the basket. Sooners set up now in their matchup.
Tidwell posting on Washington. Goes Santos back in the game, off to Smith for 3. That's his 2nd 3-pointer.
Now full court pressure again. Good double team. Sooners have a 3-on-2 right now.
Carl Blair's pass deflected out by Tidwell.
See, the thing about the press, anytime you put 2 men on the ball, you've got some people open on down the floor. What you're counting on in the press is that the team that's attacking the press makes some mistakes.
Cade Davis spots for 3. That one long. Washington kept it alive, and then Carl Blair lost it. Carl looks like he may have jammed his finger. Central Arkansas down just 3. Looking really for their first marquee win as a Division I program. Blown out at Missouri this year. And that's a foul on Calvin Newell. That will send Qahwash to the line for a 1-and-1 after a timeout. Oklahoma leads, but only by 3, 53-50. You're watching Sooner basketball on the Sooner Sports Network. Now time for the OG&E power play of the game. Nick Thompson dishing off inside, and Andrew Fitzgerald with the slam.
What a nice pass by Nick, and what a great finish by Fitz.
It's the OG&E power play of the game. OG&E power at the speed of life. Sooners struggling a bit from the field here in the second half, just 3 for 10. And their 7-point halftime lead down to 3.
You know, Qahwash, I'm sure I mispronounced that, but he's really come out this half strong. He had 3 points in the first half. He already has 7 in the second half.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. You can just kind of tell that Corliss Wiliamson had a little talk with him at halftime because he's been a different player.
Absolutely.
And he'll get one more. He has 8 points in this half. Look at Corliss Wiliamson. Native of Russellville, Arkansas, homegrown talent, went to University of Arkansas, 2-time SEC Player of the Year, 12 years in the NBA, and now a head coach at the Division I level, and his team down just 1 here to Oklahoma on the road.
All right, now Arkansas changes their defense a little bit. They're now in a zone defense.
Calvin Newell, the penetration, nice bounce pass, and Honore finishes.
That was a really, really nice finish by Honore.
Barry Honore with his first points.
Showed a little skill around that basket.
Sooners by 3. Wash defended by Newell. Off to Pouncey. It's past Davis. Won't go off the glass, and off Cameron Clark's hand out of bounds.
Look at this. Really good play there, but notice how he was blocked out on this side of the basket over here and crossed over and laid that up. Really nice skill play.
Wash will back it out and reset it here for the Bears. And a moving screen offensive foul on UCA.
really set that up. Newell really hit that screen hard and kind of bounced off of it. That was a good defensive play by Newell.
Pouncey second. He heads to the bench.
1-2-2 zone defense right now by the Bears.
Cade Davis in the lane to Washington. CJ with a nice turnaround. He's got 9. I'll tell you something else, Billy. Sometimes players come out of Christmas break and they're just a different player. They've had time to really work on their game, and CJ Washington appears to be one of those players so far.
Well, I think one thing that's happened, let's look at Washington inside here. I think we're going to rerun that and take a look at it. But nice pass, posted up big, really nice solid turnaround jump shot. But one thing that happened, the Sooners really hadn't had a lot of time to practice. Once they went to Hawaii, you know, you play 3 games in 3 days. There's no time to improve your mistakes. There's no time to teach from a coaching standpoint. Then they come back and they're on the road to Arizona and to Arkansas. No time to teach. Now, they've had 9 days of structured practice, which is really good, and I see a lot of improvement by these players.
Honore can't handle the pass there. Jeff Capel worked them in some 2-a-day workouts.
Well, you know, I assure you, I've watched Coach work these guys out some, and boy, they are so organized and they play so hard in their practices. They do a good job.
At the midway point of the second half, Oklahoma by 5.
He's going to go with it.
Rutledge feeds Dos Santos. Working on Honore. Back out to TK Smith. With Davis. Starting him out. Qahwash, 4 on the shot clock.
Qahwash is going for it.
NBA 3 won't go, and Clark a big rebound. And Clark with his 4th board to go with his 21 points.
I think the hot hand right now is Washington. I think you look for him in there. Let him post a bit.
Cade Davis trapped, gets out of trouble. 3 on the way from Newell won't go. Rebounded underneath by Chris Henson. Newell was open, and now Qahwash quickly back down court, and Newell bumps into him, and that's 4 on Calvin Newell.
Now, Qahwash is going to the free throw line again. Has 12 points, 9 in this half, going in there for another 1 and 1. And on the next foul by the Sooners, they go to the double bonus.
So Newell to the bench, Honore as well. Fitzgerald back in the game along with Carl Blair for Jeff Capel's team. They lead by 5. But Qahwash leading the UCA charge here in the second half. He's missed 2 straight free throws, both of those front ends of 1-and-1s.
And he's a good free throw shooter, but he's about 2 or 3 for 6 right now. He's about 50%.
Carl Blair to Davis in the corner. He'll launch the 3. It's short. Chris Henson comes away with a rebound, and we have a Sooner foul.
You kind of tell that when Cade came off of the screen, he curled a little bit, but you could tell he was going to shoot it when he got the ball.
And that's Cade Davis's 4th foul, so he goes to the bench at the 8:45 mark.
I would suspect that Cade's probably played more minutes than any Sooner at this point in time in the season.
Yeah, in fact, Cade Davis leading the Big 12 in minutes per game at over 36 a game.
And now the Bears are having a little trouble from the free throw line. They're not getting these down.
Henson misses the first one, but UCA now in the double bonus for the final 8:45. Henson with 7 points. Sooners by 4. Oklahoma still shooting 62% from the field. You don't see a lot of games where a team shoots 62% and only leads by 4. Carl Blair to the hoop, his first points, and they come at a nice time for the Sooners.
Sooners needed that. That was really, really a nice play by Blair.
Mark Rutledge puts it on the floor, and Fitzgerald bumps him. That's Fitzgerald's 4th. So Davis, Newell, and Fitzgerald all with 4 fouls.
With the kind of defenses these two teams are playing tonight, which is hustle defense, play hard defense, and full court defense, you're going to see quite a few fouls in a game like this, although in the first half there was probably only 6 free throws shot in the first half.
Fitzgerald to the bench. Honore comes in for him. But Oklahoma now with 3 players with 4 fouls, 2 of them captains. Davis and Fitzgerald on the bench here at a critical time. Rutledge makes them both. He's into double figures with 10.
Got 2 point guards, if you want to call it, on the floor at this particular point in time, and that's Pledger and Blair. Pledger started the season, in some of the games he's playing the point guard.
Now, Carl Blair didn't even play the first couple of games. He's starting to settle into that point guard role now. We'll need his leadership here as we tick under 8 minutes to go. 10 on the shot clock. Blair spots Clark for 3.
Oh, it's his night.
Cameron Clark with 24 points.
You know, I think Cameron's settled some questions that you might have about could he shoot the 3, could he shoot the mid-range jumper, and tonight he's pretty much appears to have solved those problems.
That's his 4th three-pointer. He had made only 6 the entire season coming in.
Playing with a lot more confidence. You got to remember, he's a full freshman. Nice play off of the
puts it up
rebound.
and in.
So he's in the learning curve without question, but I see him each game picking up a lot of confidence.
Yeah, sometimes those freshmen make drastic improvements in a short period of time, and maybe a Christmas break improvement is what we're seeing here from Cameron Clark. Stephen Pledger the drive, pull up short.
I think when you recruit a guy like Clark, I think you feel like he's going to play coming in.
I know Jeff Capel was very high on him, top 40 national recruit.
I think probably as far as pure talent goes, he is the most talented player on the Sooner team at this point.
I think you're right. He's showing it here tonight. Sooners lead it 62-57. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. Tonight's 6th man is C.J. Washington. Washington coming off the bench, scoring 9 points so far tonight, 7 of those in the first half. He has a new career high.
Well, he's really made some critical plays for the Sooners. Again, here's another player that appears to be finding himself, if you want to say, and gaining confidence all the time. This is probably the most minutes he's had in a game this year.
The Dillard's 6th man brought to you by Dillard's. C.J. Washington's numbers there, 9.6 boards, 4 of 5 from the floor.
He is the Sooners' leading rebounder tonight. He's really been aggressive on the boards. Sooners have only 3 offensive rebounds, and he has 2 of them.
For Arkansas basketball here, trailing by 5. Sooners dealing with some foul trouble. Chris Henson for 3 won't go. And Cameron Clark pulls down a rebound and off to Carl Blair. Oklahoma's cooled off significantly here in the second half.
Well, it's tough to maintain the shooting
that
both teams had in the first half. That was just kind of ironic.
C.J. Washington inside, got hung up in the air, but finds Blair. Top of the key for Clark. His 5th 3 was in and out.
I would like to have seen Blair shoot that jumper when we went inside and back outside to him.
Near the 6-minute mark, Oklahoma's lead still 5. There's Santos out to Pouncey. Back to Dos Santos. Honore got mixed up, and Dos Santos makes him pay.
Santos set a little pick and then rolled to the basket off of it and was wide open for quite some time before they found him.
Jeff Capel gets a timeout before Oklahoma turns it over. Sooner lead down to 3 here, 62-59 with 5:45 left. You're watching Sooner basketball on the Sooner Sports Network. Sooners leading here by 3, 62-59. final game of 2010. One more non-conference game for the Sooners against Maryland Eastern Shore before Oklahoma opens conference play at home against Texas A&M on January 8th.
Tough defense right here to play against that the Bears are in right now. A 1-3-1 pushed out zone. And the Sooners are through the worst part of that zone defense. They've solved the first part of it. Now the Bears are back real tough man-to-man. They picked up their level of intensity.
Shot clock down to 3. C.J. Washington can't finish inside, and it's out of bounds off Central Arkansas. Break for Oklahoma, and they get a fresh shot clock. Closed captioning tonight provided by Chickasaw Telecom. Stephen Pledger to inbounds here and finds C.J. Washington.
Looks like they're going man-to-man right now.
Cameron Clark off to Washington. 3 from Blair won't go. And rebounded by the Bears into the forecourt. Mark Rutledge leaves it for Claiborne for 3. And Claiborne knocks it down, and we are tied at 62.
Tie ball game. You get down to now, you're down to the nitty-gritty. What's happening now is immaterial. It's what you do the rest of the way that determines the game.
Chris Henson picks up the foul here. That's his 3rd, the 8th team foul. So Oklahoma will have a 1-and-1 here. And Jeff Capel now feels compelled to bring back Andrew Fitzgerald and Cade Davis, both with 4 fouls apiece. Washington and Honore to the bench. And Carl Blair will shoot the 1-and-1.
Well, you've had Fitzgerald sitting on the bench for a long period of time now, and that's your leading scorer and your leading rebounder. It always hurts you to take those guys out of the game, but you have to when they have 4 fouls. But this is the time you got to get them back in.
Sooners have cooled off from beyond the arc. They started the game hitting their first 5 3-pointers, just 2 for 9 since then. Carl Blair gives the Sooners the lead again.
This will be critical as people making their free throws down the stretch by both teams right now. Those are things that you have to cash in on. You got to come down and make the free throws.
Carl Blair just a 67% free throw shooter. It's 1 of 2. Central Arkansas can take the lead, but they turn it over. Cameron Clark gets the loose ball, and Blair will bring it up.
Sooners really have 4 guards in the game right now, and Fitzgerald. So you basically have a 4-around-1 offense going right now.
Blair pull up. Good, a big jumper for Carl Blair.
With the hand in his face, Arkansas couldn't do much more on defense than they did right there. Sooners go to their 1-3-1.
Oklahoma back on top by 3. Blair with 5 points all in this half. The Sooner crowd trying to get into it here as we're under 4 minutes. Mark Rutledge trying to find a teammate, gets it off to Claiborne.
It's a tough defense to play against.
And Henson on the sideline turns it over.
Good move by the Sooners to go to that defense at that particular point in time. It's tough defense to play against.
Our final media timeout. Sooners lead at 65-62. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon. Foul trouble for both teams, especially Oklahoma. 3 players with 4, Newell, Fitzgerald, and Davis. The Bears have 3 with 3, Claiborne, Dos Santos, Tidwell, and Henson. Actually 4 with 3 for them.
Well, the Sooners' foul trouble is a lot more serious than the Bears. When you have 2 of your starters and 4 fouls at this particular point, especially if a game goes into overtime, and this game is a potential overtime game.
Be Sooner basketball here after the UCA turnover. Oklahoma's held on to the ball a lot better here since the opening 7 or 8 minutes. 13 for the game now for Oklahoma. UCA with 15. Cade Davis will inbound here on the near sideline, and once again full court pressure from Central Arkansas, but they'll back off into a man-to-man here.
Man-to-man defense. Sooners going with, they're still 4-around-1 in their schemes.
Blair puts it on the floor. Penetration, kicks out to Davis. Cade open for three. He's got it.
You know what? If you let him get his feet set under him, squared up to that basket, that's when he's really, really good. And you could see that coming. There's a good penetration and a good kick out.
His second three-pointer of the game.
Wow.
Mike Pouncey answers for Central Arkansas. That's his first three.
Central Arkansas will not go away.
They found a guy who hadn't hit a three, and he makes one at a big moment. And Stephen Pledger is fouled.
I tell you
Claiborne
what,
again.
The Bears will run through the passing lane. They really have great anticipation of where that ball might come.
Mark Rutledge will check in for Claiborne, who leaves with 4 fouls.
I'm impressed with the Bears. They've really come out here and they're fighting hard, and I'm impressed with Coach Wiliamson.
And Pledger, Oklahoma's best free throw shooter at the line here, 81% for the season. Can't convert on the front end of the 1-and-1.
That's the critical thing when you get down to this part of the game. Do you make your free throws?
68-65, Oklahoma by 3. Qahwash will try to tie it, and he does.
Your free throws will really help at this time.
2.5 to go, deadlocked at 68. Central Arkansas came out fired up tonight, and they have not gone away from Oklahoma despite a couple of double-digit leads for the Sooners early or late in the first half. Oklahoma's led all the way, or not trailed, I should say, here in the second half, but it's tied now. 10 on the shot clock. Carl Blair. Scoop shot is good. Carl Blair with 7.5.
What a clutch play right there. What a clutch play.
Boy, Carl Blair making senior point guard decisions as just a sophomore. Played his freshman season at New Orleans and transferred to Oklahoma without having to sit out because of UNO going to Division III status.
That shot clock is running down then. I don't think he had more than 2 or 3 seconds left.
Boy, great poise there.
Really made a little adjustment in his shot down there at the end, which made a difference, because otherwise that shot's probably going to get blocked.
Oklahoma back on top by 2. With 1:59 to play, Oklahoma looking for their 26th consecutive win at home over a non-conference team. OU's won 83 of their last 85. The last time they lost to a non-conference team here at home was to a team from the Southland Conference, Stephen F. Austin, back in December of 07. Time now for the Verizon play of the game. And Oklahoma breaking the Central Arkansas press. Cameron Clark with the slam off the assist from Stephen Pledger.
I would vote for that definitely as the play of the game. Great job of breaking the press. Really good pass. Those lob passes are a little tougher to make than they look, because it's got to be timed just right.
That's the Verizon play of the game. Verizon, your signal reigns on America's largest and most reliable network. Verizon, a proud sponsor of OU Athletics.
Sooner fans getting into it a little bit. They need to get into it a lot.
Yeah, Sooners may need their help down the stretch here in the final 2 minutes. Oklahoma shooting 60% from the field, but they are in a dogfight here with the Bears.
Sooners picking up the defense a little bit more, putting a little more pressure in the passing lanes.
Rutledge working on Blair. Underneath to Tidwell. Can't make a save. It's out of bounds. A Central Arkansas turnover. Their 16th of the night.
And you got to think now that the Bears are really going to put hard pressure on in the press defense.
Corliss Wiliamson with some situational substitutions here as Pouncey and Claiborne check back in.
Boy, it really drives a coach crazy when you need at least a good shot, and you don't even get a good shot, and you get a turnover in this particular point in time in the game.
Carl Blair into the forecourt to Pledger. 1.5 minutes to go. Oklahoma by 2.
Man-to-man by the Bears.
Cade Davis to Fitzgerald. Andrew working inside, lost it. got it back, goes up, scores, and he's fouled. Andrew Fitzgerald coming up big when the Sooners needed it.
I tell you, he's playing in a lot of traffic in there. There was a lot of little bumps in there. He did a nice job of staying with the play. Really, he fought off two guys right there.
That was close to being a tie-up, and Fitzgerald stuck with it.
It's close to being a foul.
Well, that is what I thought you might think that.
It's close to being what you call an and one.
And a 30-second timeout here with Jeff Capel's team leading by 4 with 1:14 to go. Time for the Integris player with heart. And it is Cameron Clark, the freshman, with a new career high, 24 points tonight, 4 3-pointers. He's 9 for 13 from the field.
He's had the slam dunk, he's had the mid-range jumper, and he's had the three.
Cameron Clark, the Integris Heart player with heart. Integris Heart Hospital, where experts are bringing you life-saving answers. See the line for Cam Clark. Sooners still haven't put this one away yet, though. Andrew Fitzgerald at the line for one. That bucket, his first points of the second half. Does get him into double figures for the 10th time this year.
It's a critical free throw right here. This gives you a little more breathing room if you can knock this free throw down. Good free throw.
And the three-point play successful. 5-point Sooner lead. Qahwash off to Claiborne. Chris Henson dribbles away from Fitzgerald. The jumper goes.
Henson made a really, really nice play right there because he created his own shot. Made a nice little pull-up jumper. You need a timeout.
Cade Davis gets it with 54 seconds left, and Oklahoma's lead back to 3, 73-70. Central Arkansas really showing some nice poise on the road here.
Both teams with 2 timeouts left. I thought Cade made a nice play then by calling that timeout because the Sooners really didn't get where Coach wanted them to get to attack that press at that time.
Both teams with some impressive field goal percentage numbers tonight. Oklahoma 61%, Central Arkansas 56%. OU is at 8 of 15 from 3. Central Arkansas 11 for 19 from three-point range tonight.
It's been a hard-fought game. It's been an enjoyable game. It's a game I'd rather watch than do on TV. Just sit and watch it.
Sooner fans getting into it here down the stretch, trying to cheer their team on to a win in the final game at the Boyd Noble Center in 2010. And this is a team which continues to show its development, and we're seeing it tonight from a couple of players in particular, Cameron Clark and C.J. Washington.
Bears didn't trap that time. Bears didn't trap. Bears just playing it straight up man-to-man, but they wanted to trap at half court.
And Carl Blair throws it away. Blair had been making some nice decisions here in the second half, but he throws that one away looking for Cade Davis.
Had the right idea. Cade was wide open, just didn't connect with him.
So Central Arkansas with a chance to tie with a 3 here with 44 seconds left.
Sooners need to really make them use some time, so if they do get a 2, that the Sooners have the last shot of the game.
Qahwash to Henson. He'll go for the tie. It won't fall. And Cameron Clark, the rebound. It's tipped out of bounds off of Pouncey. Sooners got a break there.
Really, boy, that ball just shot off that backboard.
That was a ricochet times 10.
Long rebounds. Well, that was really that was really a pass. He got a short rebound and slung it out there because he was going out of bounds.
Shot clock is now off, so Central Arkansas will have to foul here. And Carl Blair will go to the line. Watch with his first foul.
Has Blair been to the free throw line tonight? I think not.
1 for 2.
Okay.
All 7 of his points in the second half. Oklahoma just 5 for 10 at the line tonight as a team. Make it 5 for 11. C.J. Washington will come back in. Replace Fitzgerald.
Got to make 3 throws in the last 3 minutes of the game. Need to make them the whole game, but the last 3 is really, really critical.
And this is where, as a coach, you're pretty helpless over there.
You really
just
are.
Hoping. Blair gets 1 out of 2.
Gives you a little bit of a cushion.
2-possession game at least as we go into 30 seconds.
A lot of time left in this game. Qahwash is going after it.
Qahwash to Claiborne. He wanted to shoot the 3 there.
Close to travel.
Mark Rutledge from the corner airballs it. And Cameron Clark again comes up big, pulls down the rebound and gets fouled. Cameron Clark with his 7th board to go with his new career high 24 points, and he'll head to the line for 2.
Really a good, wow. That was a great pair of hands right there.
Cameron Clark 2 for 2 at the line tonight.
I thought they should have thrown a flag and called pass interference.
What a night for Cameron Clark. 25 points.
That's big right there.
Corliss Wiliamson wants a timeout here with 11 seconds left.
You know, it's always interesting. They go, this is a 2-possession game. Well, is it a 2 or is it a 2.5-possession game? Or is it a 3?
You know what? One of your games as a coach is a game that I've always used as the standard. I believe it was the 89 Big 8 tournament. You're up 6. Colorado hits a 3 to make it a 3-point game. Terrence Mullins gets fouled, goes to the line, misses. They get the rebound. Colorado comes down, hits another 3, and forces overtime in about 15 seconds. So well, it's 11 now, so it's on the edge. But
as you said, the coach is not really responsible for missed free throws.
That's right. That is right. It was all Terrence Mullins' fault.
Well, it's not funny at this particular point in time in the game, but you know, you made a great point there a while ago, because really when you sit there on the bench, you got a guy on the free throw line, it's up to him.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do about it except be positive and encouraging.
So Cam Clark to the line here for 1 more. Oklahoma trying to get above 500 on the season when they're 26 straight non-conference home games.
2 big free throws right there.
6-point game and not a lot of time for UCA. Qahwash will kick it out to Claiborne. Claiborne hits it. And Wiliamson gets a timeout with 2.5 seconds left. Claiborne with his 4th 3-pointer. He has 13 points tonight. And the 12th 3 for Central Arkansas as a team.
Well, you know, you're saying, from a coaching standpoint, you're saying don't foul, but fouling right then might have been a better idea, because 2s don't count as many as 3s do.
What's your philosophy?
That's my philosophy
there on that. I know some coaches like to foul, others like to just let it go and see what happens. But
well, I think you let it go and see what happens if you have a 6-point lead.
And 2.5 seconds remaining here. UCA out of timeouts.
The game has changed immensely. Of course, the 3-point shot's been in for a long time, but boy, the 3s just really, really changed the game. And it makes it to the point that not any lead is sacred late in the game unless you're up by about 40, which I always like to be up 40. And then the thing
you were a few times, I noticed.
Yeah, I was a good coach in the last 3 minutes up 40.
UCA with some full court here, and they don't have a whole lot of time to commit a foul. In fact, they're not even going to get a foul.
Oh, go ahead and dunk it. Go deep dunk.
We'll win it by 3. 76-73. OU goes to 7-6 on the season. Corliss Wiliamson's Bears lose a tough one and drop to 4-9 on the year. And Jeff Capel's team rings out 2010 with a victory here at home. 26 straight non-conference home wins for Oklahoma. Now we will talk to Jeff Capel here momentarily. As Oklahoma led tonight by Cameron Clark's new career high 26 points. Andrew Fitzgerald, the only other Sooner in double figures with 11.
Thank you.
C.J. Washington added 9. Cade Davis and Stephen Pledger with 8 apiece. Central Arkansas led by Qahwash's 15 and Claiborne with 13. Joined now by Sooner head coach Jeff Capel. Coach, congratulations on the win. Gutty effort tonight by your team, and Cameron Clark with a fantastic game.
First of all, you have to give a lot of credit to Central Arkansas. They came, they competed, they played really hard. I thought we did some really good things. First and foremost, we're fortunate to get the win. Feel good about that. We can close the new year, the 2010 out with the win. And I thought we gutted it out. We looked like a team that hadn't played. It's coming off of a break. But I thought we did some good things. We made some big plays down the stretch when we had to. Cameron was terrific all game long, especially in the first half as he got off shooting the basketball. Yeah, I'm pleased with the win, not pleased with everything. Certainly we have a large room for improvement, but we'll keep working at it.
Coach, did you see a lot of defenses tonight that you normally don't see? I mean, they did about everything defensively you can do in basketball, and for the most part, I thought your team handled it good, but I thought Cameron is really showing the fact that he's gaining a lot of confidence as this season goes along.
And that's important, especially as we get ready to head into Big 12 play. We had some odd lineups out there because of the foul trouble that we were in, with the way the game was being called, with the touch fouls. We had long stretches of time with Cade on the bench and Andrew on the bench. Those are our top 2 scorers. The first half, we had a long time with Stephen Pledger on the bench. Those are our top 3 scorers. But guys stepped up. C.J. Washington came in and did a very good job for us. As we said, Cameron was terrific. Down the stretch, Carl Blair made a big shot, a pull-up jump shot. So, again, we're pleased with the win. We're not pleased with everything we did. We're pleased with the win, and we look forward to having an opportunity to work to get better.
We're seeing several guys here the last few games, Coach, step up and have big games, and that's important for their confidence.
It's important for our confidence. Again, we won. It wasn't pretty, especially the second half. But we found a way to get a win down the stretch.
Games really never as pretty when you're not making shots as when you're making shots.
Well, in the first half, both teams, we shot 76%, and it was only a 7-point game because they shot the ball so well. This is the first time a team has shot over 45% against us since we got back from Arizona. So we have to shore up our defense, really get back to working on that as we prepare for Maryland Eastern Shore, and then as we get ready for Big 12 play.
Coach, congratulations. We appreciate it.
All right.
Oklahoma head coach Jeff Capel as the Sooners win tonight over Central Arkansas 76-73. OU shoots 61% from the field, but this one went down to the final seconds before it was finally decided, and Oklahoma wins it by 3. We'll take a timeout, come back with more. You're watching OU basketball versus Central Arkansas, presented by Verizon.